get rid of these pests together. This is war. Guys, the caterpillars are here. I had to take loads off yesterday. When they start, there's no stopping them. Ideally, you should cover them, but you can't cover every single brassica. And the other thing you can do is to go and pick them, like I did yesterday. So you just go around and pick. Where is it? Caterpillar hiding. Look at the little one there. How do you get rid of them when they are all over the place? Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to a new video. This is Mecca, and this is my backyard garden. Now, this is spring, and this is prime time for planting out little seedlings, and also the pests are having a great time. So pests like aphids make their first appearance mostly in the spring, in the UK that is, and they can actually slow down the growth of your young plants. So for instance, I am by this blackcurrant plant, and you see some of the leaves here are looking not as healthy as some. And that is mainly because we have aphids infestation. Now, trying to grow organically as possible can be a challenge because obviously we're trying to avoid chemicals in our food, and subsequently we try to avoid spraying them, but sometimes you can't help it. So this is how I have been avoiding or reducing the load of pests. Now, people that advocate against using natural pesticides would be like, this can affect the sort of beneficials like the butterflies and also the bees. Guys, I have sprayed on plants and seen bees the next day on them. Yes, maybe you could argue that the life cycle can be affected, but guys, you know what? If I am growing food, I want to eat my food. I don't want to end up spending the time, energy, effort, and not harvesting or harvesting sub quality. And my main second argument is if I don't want to use them and I'm buying food from the shops, organic or not, they are being sprayed. Yes, organic food is sprayed. They have allowed sort of quantities of organic pesticides. And who knows what that allowed or approved amount could be. So I'd rather control what I can do at home and see. Anyway, enough of the talk. Let's get into it. So I have here Castile soap. This is just the most gentle soap there is. Or you could use black soap. This is another sort of African black soap you could use as well. And then I have my bad boy, which is neem oil. Neem oil is really, really effective in getting rid of a lot of pesticides, of a lot of pests and insects. And finally, I have some papaya leaves. Now, these are not fermented yet. The fermented one does smell. So if you can't tolerate the smelly one, just soak papaya leaves if you have access to it. That is, this is obviously from Africa. You can't grow it in the UK, but I dehydrate them when I travel and I use a little bit in some water, and that does the job. Okay. I have seen people say you can use stinging nettles. I've never tried it, so it's possible they could be fermented and sprayed. I actually use them as a foliar feed sometimes. Anyway, so I have a little jug and a fine mesh cloth. You can just buy these. These are like the mesh you can organza. That's how anyway this mesh bag is. So it's quite fairly cheap. All right, so we're gonna start with a little bit of this. Now, this is obviously natural, so there's no strict measurements. The only thing I would recommend is make sure you test the area you are spraying before you spray. So let's say test a little patch, see how the plant goes. Because I have once killed some plants, but there were plants I was willing to gamble because I had loads of caterpillars and I wanted to try them. But the pesticide also killed the caterpillars, so that did work. However, neem oil can actually burn your plant, so just little amounts, okay, just to emulsify. Essentially, we just want some soap to break down the oil. The oil helps coat the layers of the shells of this pests and prevents them from reproducing, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna pour this here. That's enough. Okay, like I said, no strict measurements, and I can preserve this in the freezer and use this again at a later date. But I also have my stinky fermented one I would use later. Castile soap. So Castile soap goes directly into your spray pump. This is a 2-liter spray pump. In the peak season, I use a big spray pump. I have a 15-liter electric spray pump, and that's because I have a big growing space. Okay, you don't have to use such a big spray pump, but that really helps me. So I'm just going to eyeball it. The soap is a lot more, you can be more generous with the soap than with the neem oil, because the soap obviously is very gentle. And then our beautiful oil of neem. I try to go for sort of cold press oils, but you can get whatever one. And that's it. I think I put a little bit much there, but that oil lasts me. This is about 2 years oil. That's a liter, and it's lasted me. This is the third season I'm using it. Okay, and then our strained fermented juice. Well, it's not fermented, just the overnight papaya leaves. And then we're gonna give us a shake so that everything mixes up. If there's room for it to shake, and spray. Oh, wow. Now, another thing you can do, if you don't want to spray, you can get rid of the infested leaves. So something like broad beans, they say you pinch out the tips and it stops the aphids from eating because they like the young tender tips. But I want my broad beans hasn't finished flowering, so I want it to fully flower, and I don't want to pinch it out yet. And sometimes I find pinching it out doesn't make a huge difference. But for something like my pear tree, which I've just shown, I have actually taken out all the sort of infected areas because it's not a huge amount. But on the other hand, my apple tree, I can't take out all the what's the word, affected areas because it's pretty much widespread. Now, neem is not a very great fungicide, but it's a great pesticide. So just be aware, it doesn't really get rid of fungal infections as much. And so this is what I would use, make at home, and just give us a pump. Let's get rid of these pests together. This is war. This is war. So when you spray, ensure you spray on the undersides. So don't just spray at the top. Most of the pests hide on the underside of the leaves. So spray the undersides really, really well. And also, when you do this when the sun's not really high. The sun's just coming out. It's just gone 9 a.m. Ideally, I like doing this in the evenings so that they stay overnight. And sometimes you might need to apply this twice for the thing to be effective, especially against aphids. But that's it. Simple, it's practical, it works for me, and I can harvest my food. That's the most important part, right? I can harvest what I have grown. And at the end of the day, I know what I've put on it. Neem's not going to harm me. Yes, it might be detrimental to the wildlife, but not as much as what the conventionally organically grown foods could do to wildlife. So I'm not causing so much damage. I'm a home gardener. I just want to eat my food that I grow. And if you are frustrated by pests like I have been, this can really, really help you. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, have you learned one or two? Neem oil, papaya leaves are so effective. Some people use pepper sprays, garlic sprays, but this is what I have used over the years, and this has really made a difference, reducing pest loads on my brassicas especially, and also helping me enjoy organic food at home. Anyway, until next time, see you in another video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye. When you spray, if it's a green leafy vegetables like brassicas, you don't want to pick them the next few days. You want to make sure you give them a few days before you can start eating them, because obviously the neem and the papaya leaf extract could affect, your food taste. But other than that, it's not harmful to you. You can eat it. So I give them a good wash if it's brassicas, but most times if I spray my brassicas, I give them at least a week before I eat them.